Hi everybody, I'm Jack the Rambling Raconteur. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great start to this new year, 2021. These are going to be my favorite rereads of 2020, and both fiction and nonfiction. Any of the relevant videos for books I discuss in here, I'll link in the description box. Feel free to check those out. Let me know if you've read these. What do you think of them? Leading off, Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Hurston. I loved this. I reread it in February. It's amazing. What I particularly liked on this reread was Hurston's way of blending colloquial dialogue with this really high formal, like modernist narration and diction and description. I loved that blend. I love that weave. Anybody who's a fan of William Faulkner, I highly recommend this book. I think it's sort of a great sort of exploration from there. Kind of in the same vein, rereading this Native Son by Richard Wright. I reread this as a buddy read with Alan from Big Hard Books and Classics, and we both appreciated it. I believe it was his first time reading the work. I enjoyed rereading it. I particularly enjoyed being able to discuss this book with my father-in-law, who grew up on the south side of Chicago, and this is sort of a key work for him in his reading. And so being able to have those discussions with him as I was rereading Native Son was really fruitful. Kind of in a different vein, right at the end of the year, I reread The Spy Who Came In From the Cold by John le Carre. Just a masterful spy novel, one of my favorites, and just, you know, a perfect, quick book to read. Two nonfiction rereads, and these were sort of the ones I tried to sort of organize. I hope they were enjoyable for others as they were for me. The 12 Caesars by Suetonius. This was a delight. I mean, it's always just astonishing what an adventure / nightmare the first century of the Common Era was in ancient Rome. And then The Histories of Herodotus, which is one of my favorite books and probably my single favorite Penguin classic for sentimental reasons. And just a book that delights me in every way and in many different ways. The strange tangents and also the heroic narrative of the Greco-Persian Wars. One that I didn't really post any videos on, but that I will be across 2021 on the 10th of each month, would be the essays of Ralph Waldo Emerson, and specifically his first series. So next Sunday, look for History, and February 10th, Self-Reliance. And we'll just, I find his essays, you know, very fascinating. I'm reading his journals as well. And Circles was the one that really, which is towards the end, is the one that jumped out at me this fall. And I thought, that might be a fun thing to do next year, like every month. So I'm going to do that. Two plays that I reread, one in a new translation, and loved both. One was Fedra by Jean Racine, and this is the Richard Wilbur translation. And I really like Richard Wilbur's translations from French into English. I think he was an amazing poet, and a poet who specifically excelled at that translation. And this was a wonderful play to reread. And of course, Strata by Aristophanes. Probably my favorite play by Aristophanes, and just a play that transcends, you know, over 2,000 years. We're talking 2,400 years at this point, to still feel fresh and modern and relevant. So loved both of those. And sort of the two books I reread that are among my favorite books of all time. Swan's Way by Marcel Proust. And I wanted to like reread the full In Search of Lost Time sequence, and that sort of was derailed, as many plans were. But I enjoyed rereading Swan's Way, and Lydia Davis is a masterful translator, and I think I'm gonna go for In the Shadow of Young Girls in Flower this year. Maybe the Gramantis Way as well. We'll see. Proust has to be taken in doses for me. But then the other one was a reread, and this is one of my, this is on my list of like my favorite novels, greatest novels of the 20th century. And that would be Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. And this is an outstanding book. This is a book that explores so many different ideas around humanity in the United States. But it's just a wonderful book. The language as well is just symphonic, and it's a book I love. So those are my favorite rereads for 2020. Let me know if you've read any of these, what you think of those. And again, I hope everybody's having a safe and awesome start to this new year. Thank you.